Yeah, I wanted to check maybe that the evidence leader is now referring us to paragraphs, because I thought they were still going to come to paragraph 3, where the witness suggests that we can't ask him questions about anything before 1990. I've never had a witness who gives an affidavit saying to us, you can't ask me this or that, because when he took an oath, he committed to answer all the questions and do so truthfully. And he can't say to us, so how do we treat paragraph 3 after he has taken an oath? How do we treat it? What is this paragraph worth of?
Are we on to that paragraph, advocate, or are we still going there?
They were on paragraph 4 now.
Yeah.
Mr. O'Sullivan, in paragraph 3, highlighted now by Honorable Malema, is that for reasons of personal and family security, you will not engage in discussions concerning your family, background, education, or business interests in South Africa or overseas prior to 1990. For what reason, or why do you mention that?
Chairman, just for personal security, over the last 15 years, there's been 10 attempts on my life. In 1996, I was shot 3 times. There have been multiple attempts on my life. And, Chairman, unfortunately, the criminal element, what they try to do is they try to find out things about you, which is of a personal nature. They want to know, where's your business interest? Where are your children living? Where are your properties? So I've made it clear that I'm not going to be providing any of that information. It's just not going to be advanced. And we can sit here all day and you can ask me a million questions. I will not provide that information. I'm entitled to protect my own personal interests and to protect my family interests. And I intend to do that, Chairman.
You have already mentioned that you have 7 children.
Yes, I have 7 children, but I'm not giving all their names out, and I'm not saying where they are and what they're doing. I have the right to protect my family and my interests and my personal interests. And the dirty games that are being played by the criminals that I've been exposing, as I've said prior to this, Chairman, there have been at least 10 recorded attempts on my life. There are people on trial at this moment in time for trying to murder me, for nothing more than exposing their criminal conduct.
Let's just hold it before I take you, Honorable Malema, for a follow-up. Yeah, I note your hands. I don't think that it will be fair for you to make a statement that we can sit here for the whole day.
I can't hear. Sorry, Chairman, I can't hear what you're saying.
Yes, I'm saying that I don't think it's fair for you to make the statement that we can sit here for the whole day. Surely you could get a better way to say it, isn't it?
Okay. Well, we don't have to sit here the whole day, Chairman.
Yeah.
I prefer to just get on and give my evidence.
No, I'm saying on the question whether you are prepared to answer for matters before 1990.
Yeah.
And then you say, no, we can sit here for the whole day. I'm not going to say anything. I don't think it's a better way to say it. You could have found a polite way to make that statement. Do you agree with me?
A point taken, Chairman.
Thank you. Honorable Malema.
No, thanks, Chair. I don't think it is correct for the witness to write his own questions and answer them. He can't say to us, we can't ask him anything about things that happened before 90. What if the business you are talking about started engaging in wrongdoing before 1990 and is still doing the same thing now and want to refer back to where it started? What if there is an allegation that you are handling certain activists of the liberation movement that happened before 1990? And that's why you've got certain relationship you have with them today. So it cannot be correct, and that has got nothing to do with criminality. That has got everything to do with trying to demonstrate that you have captured criminal justice system way before even 1994. So it can't be correct, Chair, especially after taking an oath that is going to answer every question here and answer it truthfully. And therefore, we need to make it very clear as a committee that is going to answer every question presented before him here. He's under oath. And it's not going to tell us here that we can sit here the whole day and ask him questions. He's not going to answer those questions. He's going to have to answer those questions. He has taken an oath to answer the questions. And that must be made very clear to him.
Honorable Skosana, Honorable Nomvalo, you are going to speak, honorable members. There is no need for you to be.
Thank you, Chair. Indeed, paragraph 3 is problematic because, you know, when you go to paragraph 5.1, commendation from Scotland Yard for stopping a knife attack and arresting suspect 1978. And now, on paragraph 3, it says that we can't ask him anything before that. He's contradicting his own statement as well here. And as well, I mean, when you look at paragraph 3, background and education has nothing to do with criminality. I mean, it doesn't make sense, Chair. Hence, I'm just giving one example. Himself, this is what he said, yes, Scotland Yard, 1978. He stopped somebody, you know, knife attack. But here he's telling us that we can't ask anything beyond 1990. It can't be allowed, Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Nomvalo. Avat. Honorable Ngola.
No, Chair, I think it's just a matter of echoing what the colleagues have been saying, that the oath you have just administered now does point it out that the witness must answer fully and satisfactorily. And beyond that, Chair, I don't know how an education background can become a security hazard. And also in the body of the affidavit itself, there are a lot of events that the witness is telling us which are pre-1990. Honorable Skosana is talking about the 1978 thing, 76. He details on his life in 1986, 1987, 1989. Now, the nature the nature of the paragraph itself is actually limiting us from diving down to what is saying in the body also of the affidavit. So I think we shouldn't accept that there are matters before 1990 that should not be responded to. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think, honorable members, it goes without a debate. The witness has deposed a statement with us. This committee has been mandated to investigate. So any allegations that have been made or any information that members of the committee want to probe with you, they are going to do so. Let me remind you that you are under oath, and let's cooperate.
Thank you, Chairman. For the record, the oath I took was to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I did not take an oath to answer every single question if it's going to violate my personal information and my family security. And if we take, Chairman, paragraph 3.
Um,
And we take paragraph
Mr.
5.1, Chairman. The two are not related.
Mr. O'Sullivan, let's not go to the statement now.
Okay,
You
thank you,
have-
Chairman.
Listen to me. Look at me. You have the evidence leader in front of you. The evidence leader is going to lead you paragraph by paragraph.
Okay, thank you, Chairman.
And then the oath that you have taken here says that fully and satisfactorily, you are going to ask questions that have lawfully been put to you.
Thank you, Chairman.
So if we on your statement, you have deposed a paragraph that speaks about an event that happened prior 1990s on your statement. The honorable members have a right to ask you about it. If there could have been any witness who came here and made a statement or an allegation about an event that happened before 1990, and you were involved or you are alleged to have been involved, you will have to respond to that. These members, if by chance they have any matter prior to 1990 they want to probe with you, please respond to those questions.
Thank you, Chairman.
But for now, I want you to follow the evidence leader. The points I'm making here must not be points for debate.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. And without sounding argumentative, the reality of the situation is that the qualification about prior to 1990 says, for personal and family security, I will not engage in discussions concerning my family, background, education, or business interests in South Africa or overseas prior to 1990. If any member has a question they want to put about any event that took place prior to 1990, and it doesn't impinge on my family security and my safety, I have no problem with that question.
Let me say this to you. Let's cross the bridge when we come to it.
Yes, I think that's a good idea, Chairman.
Because what we will not allow here is for you to prescribe what you should be asked and what you should not be asked. For now, there is no question that has been put to you. At that stage, when those questions are put to you, I want you and all of us to proceed with the same understanding that questions are going to be asked here. Questions have been asked with all of the witnesses that have appeared before this committee, and they have responded to those questions. There are witnesses, for instance, some of them were asked very, very sensitive questions, including their romantic relations. Not only here, even in the commission outside here, or even in society out there, those questions have been asked. So I don't want us to be agitated. I want us to understand that you are here before this committee. You are going to cooperate, all of us. We are going to cooperate with you. You are going to cooperate with us. We are a committee probing allegations. And for us to successfully probe those allegations, you have to honestly come forward and respond to the questions that members are asking.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I want to confirm that I'm here to cooperate, and I'm definitely not agitated. Some of the members may be agitated, but I am not.
No, there is no member who is agitated.
Okay, thank you, Chairman.
It is me who will say that.
Okay.
Yeah. Honorable Malema.
No, thanks, Chair. It's not about whether the question will arise or not. That statement by its own nature is wrong and it must be removed. Before we proceed, we must agree paragraph 3 must be expunged from that affidavit. Because even if he had not written that in that statement, in the affidavit, and someone was to ask a question that is uncomfortable with him, he will bring that to attention and he will make that ruling. Now, if we allow him to proceed with this paragraph 3, it means we allow him to tell us which questions to ask him and which questions not to ask him. We know how we work. We cannot be told in an affidavit, you are not going to ask me questions that happened before 1990. If we allow that to happen, we are setting a wrong precedence. He can't tell us that. He needs to remove that paragraph. We need that paragraph removed. He can't tell us which questions to answer him, which questions not to answer him. If there is a question that is security threat or incriminating or any other matter, you are well placed to deal with those matters. We cannot be told by a witness that you can do anything before 1990, I will not answer. You can even sit here the whole day, I won't answer anything before 1990. We are going to come out of this committee looking like clowns that were told by witness which questions to ask him, which questions not to ask him. He's going to be speaking about other people here. He's going to be speaking about other people here, and he doesn't want to be asked questions about himself. Well, he must be asked questions about himself because he's also going to talk about other people. And he already calls them criminals. So he needs to remove this paragraph 3. It's not about whether the question will come or not. This is just like a principal telling us that we must not go beyond 1990 on this textbook. It can't be corrected. It has got everything else to, it smells like supremacy. And we can't sit here with our clear conscience and allow it to proceed like that. We need to be advised from evidence leaders' point of view. I may not know the law. In a situation like this, what do we do? Where this paragraph in a signed affidavit is very problematic. He tells us from right at the beginning, you are not going to ask me anything about 1990. Even if you try, we can sit here the whole day. I want to answer that. And then we say, let's proceed. That is a very disrespectful statement, which must not be accepted by this honorable house. Thanks, Chair.
Advocate Aransa.
Honorable Chair, honorable members, in relation to no witness that has appeared before this honorable committee, including Mr. O'Sullivan, are we bound by what a witness says in his or her affidavit that they place before the committee? In fact, I've already asked several questions which do not appear on the statement, and where Honorable Matthys had said, where's the reference to it in the statement? So we are not bound by the four corners. As evidence leaders, we consult with a witness, all the witnesses thus far. Some of them insist that they want certain things said in an affidavit or removed from an affidavit. We exchange drafts with them, and we settle the affidavit not on the basis that this is a document that's been agreed. Otherwise, you don't need us. You can just place the affidavit before the honorable committee, and the witness can read it and they can ask him questions. We place it before the committee to facilitate the leading of evidence, but in many instances, in some instances where I've been criticized, we go out of the affidavit because we tell the witnesses in consultation, including Mr. O'Sullivan, that we will put to you contrary versions of other witnesses or other information or other evidence that we have gathered, and we will ask you about that. And again, it's not for them to agree that that's the case or not. That is the nature of them giving evidence. The purpose of putting a written affidavit before the honorable committee is to facilitate the interaction with the witness. What is important is the oral evidence given before the committee. I'm glad Honorable Malema raised the issue of what is contained in paragraph 3, because I was going to ask Mr. O'Sullivan, if it's, one can understand, and hopefully we all understand, that issues of safety and security, especially regarding your family and your personal security, all of us would be concerned about that. But there seems to me no reason why we cannot ask Mr. O'Sullivan about his life, his career, his qualifications preceding 1990, especially in the context of a question I've already asked him, which is not in his affidavit, is there's an allegation that you are funded by foreign agents. Are you a foreign agent? That's what people are curious about. And because of his role in crime fighting, crime prevention for some 36 years, he's become a prominent figure in South Africa. And it's entirely relevant that people want to know, where do you actually come from and what have you done before you came to South Africa?
Okay.
So, with your leave, I want to ask him that, and if he doesn't want to answer me, then I'm sure honorable members will ask him when their turn comes to ask him questions.
I want you to proceed with the leading of oral evidence, and we proceed by the decision that that paragraph does not belong here. We don't accept it.
Chair, Honorable Chair, just before you entertain other objections or questions from honorable members, we accept that. No witness can tell this honorable committee or the evidence leaders that certain questions are off limits. It is what he put in his affidavit, but we're not bound by it.
Okay. Can I see those who want to speak? Can you raise your hand? Chief Whip, Skosana, Honorable Skosana, Honorable James.
No, thanks, Chair. Good morning to you and good morning to colleagues. No, Chair, the reason I'm raising my hand is because I think we are now traveling to a wrong direction. We have had many witnesses in the past, and many of them have said things that we don't agree with, some of which we objected, we engaged them on those issues. And some of those testimonies were written down in their affidavit. So I don't think, Chair, it's going to be appropriate for us to amend an affidavit of a witness. I think we shouldn't amend the affidavit. While I agree with the sentiment that no witness should be permitted to tell us what we can and cannot ask him or her, but I equally do not think that we'll be acting rationally if we want to take a decision as a committee that before we proceed now, we are amending the following paragraphs of your affidavit. So my own view, Chair, is that the ruling you made, and I think the additions that were made by the senior counsel are adequate to confirm that we're going to delve into this affidavit and beyond it as we see it fit, and the witness will be required to answer and respond to all questions. But I really would like to suggest that we should not make a call that there are certain paragraphs of his affidavit that we want to agree as a committee we don't recognize or that they don't exist. They exist, but we disagree with them, and we will engage him in the way in which we see it fit as a committee. That's what I want to propose, Chair, because I'm worried that if we take the line that says, let's expunge the paragraph. When we have expunged the paragraph, you are effectively saying that we must adjourn and allow him to relook at his affidavit so that he decide what is it that he's going to sign and bring back to us. So my views, I don't think we should take that route, Chair. I think it's sufficient to take a position that, as he has also himself agreed, he will answer all the questions. And in circumstances where we identify that he is refusing to answer certain questions, he can't say, I'm not doing so because you have agreed with my affidavit. We don't have to agree with anybody's affidavit here. all we are required to do is to receive a sign-off affidavit. We engage people on their affidavits and beyond. So that's what I wanted to say, Chair. Thanks.
Honorable Skhosana.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think we have to know about Mr. Paul O'Sullivan, Robert O'Sullivan, biography. Who's this man who's sitting before us here? Who's this man who's sitting before? We don't know anything. This thing doesn't say anything here. There's no biography. We don't know him. He just said that he's got 3 passports, South Africa, Ireland, and UK. That's not enough, Chair. Who is he? The affidavit is before us here, but it's incomplete from the word go. I mean, paragraph 1, I'm an adult male, a fraud investigator, and this and that. There's nothing here, Chair. There's nothing here, Chair. We must know who's he. Educational background's got nothing to do with criminality or his origin. As he said, he said he was born somewhere and, he regards himself. This is not enough, Chair. We can't thumbsuck here. Every witness who said here, we know exactly from the beginning, the introduction is clear. As you sit there, Chair, you don't know as well. As you sit there, you don't know who's the man sitting before us. Besides that is Paul Robert O'Sullivan. Where is he from? Educational background, I mean, Chair. No. Chair, he must tell us who is he. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable James.
Chair, with all the other witnesses that have appeared before us, a precedent was set. We had a CV on record. Where is Mr. Paul O'Sullivan's CV? I want to echo the sentiments of MK. Ons weet nie wie is die man wat voor ons sit nie. We've jumped into his career and everything without a CV. Where is his CV? And he cannot come here and tell us that we must dance according to his tune. He basically said to this committee earlier on, I am here and I'm here to only speak my truth. He made it clear to us, we cannot allow that and we won't accept it. Thank you.
Your hand was not up.
No, it was up, Chair.
No, it wasn't when I noted the hands. Chief Whip, I hear the point that you are saying on the affidavit. And that paragraph, to my understanding, is that it is not a testimony. It's a condition for this committee. So if we allow such a condition in a statement and saying, look, we can't amend the statement. A condition is something very difficult for us to continue with a statement that has a condition in it. And if we say we disagree with this condition, I would be persuaded to agree with you where a witness alleges something that, look, what you tell us, we disagree with this. This may not be accurate. But where you have a condition that says you will not or you shall not ask me anything, it becomes very problematic. And that is why, maybe for lack of a better word, I said the committee cannot accept a condition like that one. Maybe whether we expunge it or we don't expunge it, we disagree with it or we agree with it, let's all agree that the committee does not accept this condition in its proceedings. And where I stand, I strongly feel that we will be reduced into a mockery if we are going to allow any witness to come before us and lay terms within which we are going to engage with him or her. And when I listen to you, Mr. Paul O'Sullivan, maybe to come closer to where members are, you are saying there is a sensitive information that you feel it's very much important for the security of your children and your family. That's what I heard you saying.
Yeah, Chairman,
Maybe if I
can explain.
just wait a moment for me to conclude.
Sorry.
So that you understand that the condition that says we cannot ask you questions on matters before 1990 it's not accepted in this committee proceedings.
It's not a condition, Chairman. I've stated very clearly that it's only for reasons of personal safety and family security. If you don't dig into my family or my personal safety, you can ask me any question you want.
Listen, there is no problem. We want these proceedings to go ahead, and the only way that they can go ahead, for instance, there have been witnesses that came here before us and said to us that we may not be able to disclose the following information with you because by law we are not allowed. And we are leaders in this country. We are aware, and it has also been brought to light, how citizens of this country found themselves endangered. Some even lost their lives.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. I didn't hear what you said.
If there is any information that may endanger your security, you can tell this committee and say, there is information like this that I think is going to be dangerous to the security of my family or to my children. And we have been amenable as a committee to say information like that, for instance, if you have, we can decide if we create a platform for you to share with us if it does not have to be public. But what we are saying in the main, and which you don't have a problem with as I listen to you, is that we cannot have a condition that says you can't ask me the following questions, except those for personal security.
That's it, Chairman. Only
Okay.
for personal security and safety of my family.
Yeah. No, I think I wanted us to agree that that condition does not belong here. Honorable Nombalo, do you still have something to say? And then Honorable Malema, we move forward.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. If I wanted us to drive the point home from the onset, I was tempted to argue this point after the input that has been made by the Chief Whip, which I disagree with it completely, because one, this paragraph is problematic in the sense that one, it says he is not ready to talk about his business interest. And the same witness goes on in his statement. He talks about his business interest. So he says indirectly, I can tell you about my business interest, but you can't ask me about my business interest. That is problem number one. Problem number two is that as members of this committee, when we probe, we don't necessarily confine ourselves in the statement of the witness. We probe being guided by allegations which have been made by various people from society regarding the witness before us. So we're not going to be confined in this statement when we do our work. We will ask questions which we think are relevant at that particular time. And some of those questions, and most of them, we just want to make that promise that most of those questions are going to be your family, some are going to be your business, some are going to be your history. So we're not going to take this thing, we're disregarding it because it's a silly prescription. That's how I can characterize it. And we're not taking it, Chair. So we can't massage and try to put nice English and make it look better, whereas it is actually nonsense. It doesn't make sense. So we're not going to take it. This paragraph does not exist. We're not amending anything, we're disregarding. There's a difference between the two. We're not amending, we're disregarding, we're saying it does not exist because it is a problematic directive. Thank you.
Mkhalaka.
No, Chair, I fully agree with what you said, but it is entirely incorrect, if not a deliberate decision to lie to the public, that we've never asked a witness not to amend his affidavit. The first witness to appear here, General Mkwanas, was told to go and amend his affidavit, which he was calling it supplementary affidavit. We said there's no such a thing. He left here, went to amend that affidavit. So it's not correct. Secondly, Nkabinde, if I'm not wrong, colleagues will correct me. What we adjourned here to go and amend the affidavit. So if people say it will be irrational, what do they mean? Was it irrational when we asked General Mkwanas to amend the affidavit and asked Nkabinde to amend the affidavit? But I'm amenable to proceed in a manner you are suggesting, and not under the lie that was told here, but under the conclusion that you made that this paragraph number 3 is not worth the paper written on it. We're going to ask questions beyond 1990 and they're going to be answered here. Thanks.